So, hello everyone. Welcome to our English YouTube channel. Here, you're gonna have an amazing experience. Here, hearing our own English experience as well. So, guys, to be honest, I'm so excited today because today we have a new guest. His name is Bruno. Bruno is a friend of Fernando. Hey, so would you like to introduce yourself for those who didn't know you?
Okay, Alexandre. Nice to meet you all. Okay. My name, like Alexandre said, is Bruno. I'm 38 years old. Okay. I'm from Belo Horizonte, okay, the capital of Minas Gerais, the state here in Brazil. And now I work in a cart, okay, doing like an counter, okay? Like it's kind of an counter and a businessman. I work with business and accounting, okay? So in the public, okay, for the public government, I don't know how to say that. I will try to. And I'm here to improve my English, to practice my English, because like in the 10 years ago, I was used to practice a lot of English because I have been a teacher for 1 year for basic levels. So it was very common to me to speak for 80 hours a day, 5 days in a week. But after this time, I entered at Petrobras. Okay, I used it to work there, and when I started there, I couldn't have the same level of practice. Okay, during these 12 years that I have been working at Petrobras, I use it sometimes. Okay, to um, to talk with commanders because I use it to. I normally work at a port. Okay, so it was common to speak with commanders, with the crew, with guys from Turkey, Egypt. Uh, Let me remember, United States, Britain, a lot of people from all kind of the world, all parts of the world, they choose the English as the main language. So it was a great time to practice. But nowadays, as I told you, I work in a card, so it's not common to me. It's not more used to practice English. So I need to improve that. I try to study at in Duolingo. Okay, to don't forget the words and all this when I travel. Um, I try to practice too. Okay, when we go, I'm on vacation. This last 2 years, I have been abroad, so I try to practice there too. And is that okay? I'm here to improve, to get knowledge, to get more vocabulary because English. I have never been abroad, so to stay near a culture, to really get the words and to really get as a native. Okay, so it for me it was not a good thing when we being abroad. We we accelerate our learning. Okay,
Yes,
so
indeed.
because it's very good. So I never been like abroad, like in English speakers countries, but I have this opportunity in Spanish English country. So my Spanish is much better than my English because I had this experience. So being there, okay, having this opportunity to practice, it's amazing because it will be. I have a joke. I joke because it's our mind, our brain is like an old car. Okay, an old car when you don't use a lot. So when we start using, then the car start the engine. It's like it starts on and then we go. So my English is like nowadays is like an old car that needs to put some oil and to use to get start using again and to make it more I don't know fluid. Okay,
Yeah,
so
man.
it's
Yeah.
this.
I believe that you are on the right place to do it. So right now we're gonna just warm up this engine and let's do it. Let's travel with this engine.
Yeah,
Let's see how far it can go. And we're
yeah.
gonna test it. We're gonna prove it that your English is awesome. So first of all, thank you so much for joining us. It's gonna be awesome to have you here with us on this English speaking session. And Fernando, thank you again to join us here. I know how complicated things can be, things could be in the nowadays, but you find a time to join again. So thank you so much. How are you, man? Would like to say something before we get started here?
Thank you, Alex. I'm doing great. Thank you again for inviting me to this English session. It's been always a pleasure to me to be here.
Okay, so guys, today I brought a topic which I do believe that it's gonna be very useful, not just for us here, but for all of the people who are watching this from the YouTube and all of the people all over the world, to be honest, because I know about you. I don't know how about your lives, but I already needed to call this number, not exactly as I will show, I introduce, I will present this, but here in Brazil, there's a quite different situation. But at the United States, I don't know if you know, we're gonna talk about 911 emergency. So this is gonna be very interesting because at the United States, they only have one number for emergency. So here in Brazil, we have a lot of. For instance, we have 190. 190 is gonna be for the police officer, but we have 193, which is gonna be for the firefighter department, and so on. But the United States, if you call 911, you can get all you need to know. So it's going to be different. Let's see what's going to happen during this conversation. Hope you like it because, as I told you, it's not easy to find some topics to bring. But I believe we're going to make it. So let me see how can I share my screen with you guys. Okay. Tell me if you are watching, if you are seeing our screen. English once for all. Are you seeing this picture?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Great. So we're going to start for now. So this is our English speaking club. And the topic, as I told you, 911, police, pulse and fire or medical situation. So we're going to talk about that. What is an emergency? What is an emergency for you guys? The first question is going to be for you, Fernando. How can you describe an emergency scenario? How do you call an emergency scenario? What do you mean when you call that you got an emergency?
Well, an emergency comes when things are going bad, right? When, for example, your house is burning or someone in your family is needing some health care, or you are on the street and you see some car accident and you have to call the firefighters or to the ambulance to help the people who is getting injured. So emergency comes when something is bad and you cannot help just by yourself, and you have to call some other people to help you out with this trouble.
Yes, that's right. So people maybe I know so many people who said or who told me sometimes I never needed to call a 911 or to call 190 as we're gonna speak about it. We're gonna practice about it further, a little bit further, that we're gonna see that in Brazil is not the same situation as we are seeing here. We are studying English, so that's why I got this topic in 911 because at the United States or the American countries, they have 911. The North America, they have 911 as a unique number for any type of emergency. So let's jump for the first question. Now it's your turn, Bruno. What situations would warrant calling and the emergency number? So what situation would need it? Would we request to call 911? That is the question.
Okay, like my brother said, could be when your house is burning, could be when a person is needing health care. You could call 911 when you get arrested. I don't know if you have a cell phone, you could do that. Okay, it's another possibility. You could call 911 Let me see. If you see a robbery, okay, I don't know, or if you are inside a bank and then you saw, okay, a situation that needs the police, okay, it's another example. I don't know, like they said in the description, 911 is for medical reasons, medical situations, fire situations, and police situations. So I think this police sorry situations. So I think these examples are enough. Okay.
Yes, yes, indeed, man. As you said, we never will know, or maybe we couldn't prevent all types of emergency. So when you call 911, could be any type of situation. Can be a fire, a robber, injured, a car accident, and so many other situations. Let me ask you here, guys, a quick question. First of all, Fernando. Fernando, have you ever needed to call 911 or to call an emergency number here in Brazil?
I just remember one situation some 6 or 7 years ago in the city where I live. In the first apartment that I used to live, I had a neighbor who did a lot of noise for a lot of nights, and it went a lot from the night to the beginning of the morning. So we tried to knock on his door to get to ask him to get lower the sound and all the mess he was doing, but it wasn't enough. So I have to call the 911. So the police to call the police to get there to ask him to lower the sound so we can sleep and have a normal life.
Yes, man. I know exactly what you say. I usually watch some videos from YouTube. I don't know if you like to watch videos like that, but I'm subscribed on so many police YouTube channels. We have here at the state of Paraná so many good channels about police situations, and I saw so many things like that. For instance, they get so many should I say, yeah, they are called so many times to attend situations like this. It's called peace distribution, peace distribution, peace. I don't know. I don't remember in English. How could I describe that? Because I never thought before, but it's something like peace distribution. So you're not respecting the peace of others people. So there is a rule for that. So maybe there are a lot of people who don't even know that it's a rule. There's no time to ask 911 or to ask the police officer to ask for people put their sound lower and things like that. They just believe that it's just needed to call 911 or to call 190 after 10:30 p.m. But that's not true. The rule never
Yeah.
told things like that. The rule said that if you are disturbing the peace anytime, even at 10 a.m., even at 1 p.m., or it doesn't matter the time that you are calling. You have the rights to call the police and to ask the people to lower or to put a little bit lower the sound. So guys, now it's your turn. Bruno, have you ever needed to call an emergency number here in Brazil?
Yes, I remember once, like 4 months ago. Okay, I live in a very big tower. Okay, I think it's 13 floors. Okay, so I live in the fourth, and then I was at home, and then I started smelling, okay, smoke. So I did, what's this? And then when I go to the window, I could see a house, a very near house of my building, in like in flames, okay, like burning, okay.
Oh, really,
So
man?
really, I have the video, okay, of this. And then oh my God, what's happening? The house is burning very hard. I need to call the fire workers. So I take my cell phone very fast. Um, First I try to see if there like because I as I how can I call this? As I told you, yeah, I use it to work at Petrobras. So at Petrobras, we have a lot of safety like codes and safety procedures, sorry. And then I have this head, okay? So like you are a safety technician, so I think you think the same as me. So I need to know. Sorry, let me see the scenario. Okay, can I see some people? What's like around? There are more dangers. Okay, so I made this first evaluation. Okay, and then I take the phone and call the fireworkers department. So I said, and then the girl on the other side said, okay, no problem. Other people are calling, so we are getting as fast as we can to the place. Okay, so thank you. And that was the experience. So I'm like I'm used to emergencies at Petrobras. I stayed calm, get all the scenario, the information, all the evaluation, and then I call and I think 15 minutes after the call, they get to the place and start working, and it was
Nice.
amazing to see the fireworkers doing their job, because they are very brave people. The guy, like the house was like burning out, and then the guy entered at the inside the house, and with a lot of smoke, and then I could see the lightning. Yeah, I don't know the
Yes.
it's light. Yeah, I could see the lightning and all this. The guy inside with a lot of smoke, dark smoke, and the guy there inside looking for people, looking. I don't know. Yeah, I was very terrified for him. Okay, because I thought, what, maybe this ceiling is okay. It's not going down. Okay, I was like thinking stuff like this. Okay, so it was a very different experience, different, terrifying, and experience. Okay.
Yes, honestly, for us, it's quite exciting. But of course, for those people who lived there, who used to live at that homes or the homes, it was terrifying. And of course, for people who are not used to do, who not get used, they maybe who have not training or not information about safety procedures, it's gonna be very terrified situations like this. As you said, I'm a safety technician, and also I have a civil firefighter course. So I work as a first aid scenario or firefighter as well. So I have a lot of, and this is part of my job. Actually, today I'm emergency coordinator at all the companies which I joined it. So it's very good. I really love it, this type of job, because I can provide assistance, I can provide help and information for those people who need it, and maybe this short information, it's gonna be able to save their lives. So things like this is priceless, you know.
Yes, and
Uh,
we have a lot of simulators at Petrobras.
yeah,
So
yes,
man,
I
keep
know
calm,
exactly.
like John Walker. Okay, keep calm, not keep calm. Okay, not, and then get a lot of the biggest amount of information that you can, and then make a call and say the things in a slower, and then calm down, and then
Yeah,
this is
it's
the
very important.
difference.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
important to provide the best information, the right information for the attendants, for the dispatcher, because the dispatcher will know exactly how many vehicles, how many people, and how many teams they needed to send
the
to help.
resources. Yes.
Exactly. How, yes, what resources is going to be needed. And if you have LinkedIn, maybe after this meeting, I will share with you my profile on LinkedIn. There, you're gonna see one of the biggest simulation, the biggest trainment that we did at my last job when I was working at a oil and gas company as well. And we made it. We did at that time one of the biggest trainment about emergency scenario. We were thinking about the worst scenario, and we were trying to prepare ourselves to this situation. So it was awesome. We have a lot of emergency people working with us as a situation to help each other. So it was very good. maybe after that, if you like it, I would like to share with you these pictures.
Okay.
So
There is a
let's
famous, Alexander, there is a famous course called ECS code. 100, 200, 300. This is good for manage these situations.
Yes, I already know that, but unfortunately, I had no. I should say it was quite difficult to do that. After nowadays, I'm working. I'm studying not just English, but I'm currently study bachelor's degree in environment engineer. You know, I'm trying to be an
Mm-hmm.
environment engineer, and it's quite difficult to find time sometimes, but for my English and for my university, I'm trying to do my best to be here. But I really know this course, and it's very very good. I'd like to maybe sometime maybe in the future I will do this course. I will take this course to learn more things. There are a lot of trainings related to emergency scenario, but you know, and it's not so simple, but it's very useful for people who work in these fields. I maybe in the future should do it. Now it's
Okay.
your turn, Fernando, again. Can you describe the process of dialing 911 in an emergency situation? Which is mean dialing. It means just type the number. How can you do that? Imagine yourself in a situation that you needed to call 911, and what is the first step after you type 911 in your cell phone? How could you describe the situation for the dispatcher, for the people who are the other side of the line, you know?
Well, I think the most important thing you must do when you call to an emergency number is to keep calm, as calm as you can. I know because there are a lot of situations that the emergency we are passing through requires a lot of scary and fear, but be calm as possible as you can and describe to the attendants all the details you can provide to him, uh, how many people are injured, what is really the situation you are experiencing. Uh, Tell him if how are the health state of the people you are trying to help. Uh, Speak not loud if you are going to grab attention from maybe someone is robbing your house, so speak not loud, a quiet mode, né? Quiet. But the most important thing is to pass to the other side all of the informations you can, so you can have the support, the best support with the number correct of the police officers or the firefighters to solve your situation.
Nice, nice. That was so many good concerts, so a lot of good concert or advice to people who needed to call 911. And how about you, Bruno? Can you describe the process of dialing 911 in an emergency situation? So what you should do if you needed to call 911 or needed to call an emergency number?
Like I have said the other time, you need to get the biggest amount of information you can, maintaining your calm, keeping calm, and pass the information in a clearly way. Okay, stating how many people are involved in the case, what's happening, the size of the emergency, if there is for example, a fire, for example. So it's a house, it is, or no, it's not a house, it's a factory, chemical factory. You know what's the products inside. It happened like when I was a child, for example, Parfum, I don't know, Acqua di Fiori, it's like a Boticário, okay, you know, Natura. Factory was like in fire. So it's like chemical products. They need, okay, different resources uh, to fight against it. Okay, so is this like try to describe the scenario in the best way as you can. So okay, I
Yeah.
think of course maintain maintain the
Keep calm.
yeah, keep calm and all this, okay, to pass the information the best way you can.
Yes, that is the best. Those were greatest, one of the greatest counsel or advice for people who need it. So keep calm is the first one, because when you are stressed out, when you are anxious, maybe that's gonna just should I say that's gonna just disturb your informations that you needed to pass through, you needed to provide them. So you will tell things like the what streets are you calling? So what's the street? What's the neighbor at you are? And for instance, what is the number of the residence? So there will be so many information. So who are needed the ambulance? Who needed the ambulance? Who needed the police officer? So what's happening? So you must to have, as you just said here, you must to have all amount of information that it's needed. So all amount of information that it's going to be needed for those situations. So as we are already said here, guys, there's no the right protocol to do that, because we never will know what type of emergency we will face. And so be prepared and try to be prepared as much as you can, and keep calm. Everything's going to be okay. You just needed to call for help. Next.
Yeah.
It's your turn. Fernando, what information should you be prepared to provide when you call 911? For instance, address, age of people, or the situation that is happening. What do you think about that?
Yeah, as I said before, you have to pass to the attendants all the details you can, because it will help out to provide you the best support. So the street address, your neighbors, if there's a big store beside your house, you can pass as an information point to make to make easy the life of the people who are getting to help you. The amount of people who are involved in this scenario. So the majority of details you can bring and pass through the attendants will definitely help you with your support.
Yes, you don't need it to be a professional this time, but you must to pay attention and all details that is happening. So you must to try. It's like if you are acting like a profession without being, in fact, a profession, you know? So let me ask another question for Bruno here. Bruno, keeping on this topic here, I'd like to know your opinion about the follow situation. What are you thinking about our child received some information about emergence on the primary school? Do you think that it's needed? Do you think that's gonna be it's gonna work if you start the teacher start providing some informations about firefighter, about policy, about any type of emergencies? What are you thinking about this? It's gonna be used?
Yes, it's going to be very useful for the young people. Okay, I think this stuff, this subject, with other ones. Okay, we are not. I'm not going to talk about that now, but knowledge about emergencies, how to answer in answer an emergency, call the numbers. Okay, to call the firefighters or the guys, the medical, the doctors or the police. It's it's a very important knowledge for the child, okay? Because sometimes the child can be alone, okay, at home, and then start fire. They start an emergency situation, and she or he need to do something, because okay, to not concerning only about the call, but concerning to the behavior, okay, they must have to they must do to get out an emergency situation, okay. For example, how to behave when you are locked in an elevator, for example. How to behave when you are at home and something starts burning. How to behave if you have a friend for school, and then this friend starts like I don't know how to say that in English. When you fell, okay, you go down, okay. So like now, not be sleeping, but not the other case I can't
Pass
remember.
out.
Okay, when
It's
you
called passing
pass
out.
out, yes, pass out, and then how to act, okay, when you have these situations, okay. So I think it's a very useful knowledge to the children, and of course I think to the adults, to everyone, okay. The people need to know how to behave, or how to act, or how to make the things when they have an emergency ahead, okay.
Yes, indeed. I couldn't agree more. Guys, I don't know how about you, but I have two children. We have a son that is 8 years old and a daughter that is 13 years old right now. Some months ago, my daughter had experience to fall down of her bed, and her bed is a little bit higher than the usual. So she unfortunately get injured on his leg, so almost broken his I forgot the word for let me remember how it broke his let me call in general. She almost broke his leg, her leg, but her bone, I remember. Almost broke her
Okay.
bone. And it was needed. It was 7 a.m., man. Can you imagine that? So 7 a.m., you are just waking up and you
Yeah.
are thinking about things that you're gonna do on the day while they are getting ready to the school. And and rapidly, she just fell down off her bed and she started crying. Uh, she started crying loud and things like that. So it was quite different scenario. Of course, I went to her bedroom and I tried to help her. I just leave her on the right position, which is more comfortable for her at that time. And I saw that I just my knowledge, my skills would be not enough to help her. So I called 193. You know, 193 here in Brazil. It's like a
Okay.
firefighter number. And they came to my house in 6 minutes, man. It was quite rapidly, you know, because there are our house, a firefight house goes to my house here, and they just shown up in 6 minutes. 6 minutes, sorry, not 6 minutes. It was very rapidly. It was fast, and they helped her, and she stay at that time. She got so amazing with her jobs, man. My daughter is 13 years old, as I told you. So she got so excited about being a firefighter or be a medical professional or things like that because she paid closer attention what they did with her and the right care that they provide her. So that's gonna be awesome. So just to summarize everything, why I'm telling this story here, I'm telling because no one's would like to know, no one's wanna know this information that we are talking about, 911, emergency, what do you do, what you should do in this situation, because they are not needy. They are needy, or should I say, they are not needing this situation, but they are not on that situation yet. But when they needed to pass through this scenarios of this situation, they will pray to know this information. So that is all of my job is about. You know, my job is about preventing situations. You know, I must to make some forecast. I must to make from prevention about what could be wrong, what could be done wrong, or what could be happen, and not appropriated way. And I always heard so many things like that, but oh, that's impossible. That will never happen. That's some things that I always heard at my job on some meetings. But of course, with data, we are able to provide information and to prove that it's real information that I'm passed to them, and they needed to pay closer attention. So as I said, to summarize, no one would like to have an emergency situation. But as I already told you as well, that is impossible to know if you will need or you never will need to call 911. So be ready and be calm, pay closer attention, and take care of yourself and our loved ones. That's the best way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Great. So next one. Now it's your turn, Bruno. how quickly can an emergency services typically respond to a call made it to 911? So, which means how many times, as I told you here, for my situation, as I told about my daughter, the firefighters got 6 minutes to showing up here. And how about you? How about your experience or about your cities that you are living right now? How many times, if you just call 911, just call 190, how many time they, or should say, how long they will take to arrive there to showing up? Bruno, it's your turn.
Okay, it depends on the location of the fire station, of the police officer. So when we are in a capital, okay, I don't know, leaving the center in downtown, okay, I think the answer will be fast. I don't know, 10 minutes, maybe. And if you live in I'm going to remember there are old words, okay? When you live in a small town, okay, like downtown, yeah, I don't know.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, they depending on the where you live, it will be more than, I don't know, 1 hour, 2 hours. So for example, my mother-in-law, okay, lives in a rural part of the city, in a small city. So if they need or she need some help for an emergency, it will cost like no, it will at least at I don't know, more than 2 hours. Okay, so it depends. At Petrobras, for example, we work, okay, like in operations. So they have a specific post for the guys from that are responsible to answer the emergencies. So when you call, they very fast, like 1, 2 minutes, they appeared with all the things. So in the resume, it depends on the location, okay? You
Yeah.
are and the location of the answer.
Yes, indeed. As you said, it depends on which part of the country, which part of the city, and usually they must to respond at the maximum 30 minutes. There are some places that provide some assessments that they made about their service, but as you said, there will be places that it's not be possible. It's quite, like you said, rural areas, you know, like the villages. It's more common to call villages at this time of rural
Okay.
areas, but I already heard so many times that they got more than 45 minutes to arrive, or almost 1 hour to showing up, and people made a lot of complaints about that. So, but you know, it's not their faults. It's not their fault because they don't have enough equipment, they don't have enough people, and sometimes it's quite it's a boring situation. How about you?
It's difficult.
Yes, yes, it's quite I should, how can I say? Yes, it's restrict. There are a lot of things is not available for them. Not that the government could not support them. The government can support them, but there are so many misunderstandings in the middle of the situation that sometimes things happen a wrong way. But maybe in the future, things gonna be better. And now I'd like to ask you, Fernando, how about you? Fernando said that, Fernando, do you live in São Paulo? Yes, the state of São Paulo. Am I right?
In the countryside of São Paulo, the city of Ribeirão Preto.
Okay, so tell me about that location. How things works there? How quickly can an emergency service typically respond to a call?
I think in Ribeirão Preto, the response of police department or firefighters are very quickly because uh, it's a countryside city, but it's a big city, you know. So we have a lot of police departments and also for the firefighters. So I think at maximum 15 to 20 minutes to arrive to an emergency call. So it depends of the amount, the size of the city, the support that the city has to the departments of fighters or police officers. It depends also at the season of the year, like if you are on the carnival, a lot of emergencies will show up, so it will last longer than the usual. The festival and commemorative dates will also has an influence to the time you get the help, right?
Yeah.
So, but Ribeirão Preto, where I live, I think we have a good support to these two people, to the police department and firefighters.
Great, that's great. And yes, to answer this question, of course, to be more precisely, to have more accuracy on this, we must we must make a lot of assessment, and one of it is going to be the time. There are a lot of random situations that we must try consider when we are looking for time response or things like that. But usually it's something like that. In the middle of the city, 30 minutes is going to be I believe the most time that they will take to
The average time,
the
yeah.
average. Yeah, that's it. The average is going to be 30 minutes, right? The next one, guys. Now it's your turn, Bruno. Are there any alternative emergency numbers that people should be aware of depending on their location? So here we are, of course, let's use another way. Let's answer this question here in a way like how many numbers of emergency do you know at your country? Because here in Brazil, for those who are watching us here from outside of our country, we are Brazilians. We both here are Brazilians. So Bruno, Fernando, and I. And here in Brazil, guys, we have not just one number for calling an emergency when we need it. So it's gonna be quite interesting, this conversation. So now, Bruno, tell me a little bit about the numbers of emergency equipment or the numbers of emergency people that you know on your head right now, on your mind. So let's see.
Just remember three numbers, okay? 190 for police, 192 for SAMU, I think, 193 for firefighters, okay?
Great.
And I remember, my God, I had in my mind the number of the road police. I don't know if it there is a number, but I can't remember.
Okay, let's
There's
see
a
who.
number.
Let's see who.
191.
Yes, let's see who.
191.
No, that's not that. I was not. I will not account with that because Fernando said, "Let's see who can remember. Who are able to remember more numbers." You know. Let's see, Fernando. Bruno said three numbers. Let's see how many numbers do you remember about emergency equipment, emergency organizations?
Yeah, I remember the numbers that Bruno said before, plus the highway police, should I say, that you should call 191.
Yes, that's it. But there is another one.
191.
There's another one which is so easy. I'm not sure about your city, of course, but have you heard about neighbor guard? You know, neighbor guard. It's like municipal guard. There's municipal guard,
Okay.
or there's be some police. It's like a police officer, but they are in charge of their jobs by the mayor. You know, not by the government, but just the mayor of the city. There are so many policies like this. Do you
Yes.
remember the number of them?
Yeah, well, I think 197.
197, maybe. I heard at the
It
state.
depends for the
Yeah,
city.
yes. Let me after this mini finish, I will try. I made some searches about that because here in state of
197 is
Paraná.
pretty big.
Yes, here in the state of Paraná is 153. 153 is the municipal guard. You know, it's like a neighbor guard. In English, but it's guarda municipal in Portuguese, but in English it's like municipal guard, municipal policy, or like
City
neighbor
guard, I don't know.
policy. Yes, yes. So,
Okay.
here, could you notice, guys? I don't know if you got the same feeling that I'm feeling right now, but how many emergency number we have here, isn't it? We have at least 10 that we don't know yet, but I know that at least 10 numbers of emergency we're gonna find it. 157, 190, 192, 193. there are 153. There are a lot of the federal policy as well. We have some other numbers. They have a road federal, a highway federal policy there as well. So there's a lot of numbers that we can call if you need an emergency, if you need an emergency service. But at the United States, I believe that's easier, isn't it? 911, and
Just
you have, yes, you got all you needed.
yes.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future. I don't know how about you, but I heard some years before that the Brazilian government was trying to do something like that. Have you ever heard something like that?
No, I'm
No,
not.
Yes,
but
I heard some news about the federal government that they were trying to copy the United States emergency number. Like you can call just one number and they will provide all you need. But unfortunately, until right now, at least, we never heard anything more about it. But now, let me change here. What should you do if you accidentally dial 911? That is a very important question, guys. You know, accidentally, you type 911 on your cell phone, but you think, oh, I didn't need it kind of to call 911. So what should you do? After that, let's suppose here in Brazil they call a fake call. It's like a trote. There's a name. It's called trote, but let's call faking call. You know, unless unneeded call, things like that. If you without intentions, maybe your children pick up your cell phone, maybe your someone else, and try to kid with you. You know, what people should do after that? You needed to talk with them, or you just turn it off the cell phone and wait and foresee if they will call again or things like that. Fernando, tell me about your opinion.
I think you have always to alert the kids to not dial this number unless they really need it, because it's a very important number, and uh, the police officers and the firefighters uh, they have to attend these people who are really needed. So you can I don't know the word. You can
Advice.
atrapalhar.
Yeah,
You can.
you can disturb, you can make
Yeah, you
harder
can
their
disturb
job.
it, their work, because they're very important work. You can disturb it just making fake calls. So you have to alert your kids about that. So don't do this. You really will be disturbing those people, and you can also be disturbing the people who are really needed this. And the call is occupied because you're calling and making jokes on the phone.
Yeah.
So uh, you just, if you can get the phone, just apologize the people and tell the truth of what happened, and reprehend your kids and teach them to the motives to not doing this.
Yeah, but after that, let me see, Bruno, what do you think? People should stay on the line and talk with them just to, as the picture here is showing us, do you know? Look at the yellow sign here. Don't hang it up. Stay on the line so that we know you are okay. So do you think it's necessary to do it here in Brazil as well? If you call, for instance, 190, you needed to stay, even that you don't need it anymore, you needed to stay on the line to talk with them, just to share them information that you are okay.
Yeah, I think if you are the knowledge, you are doing the action, okay, like 911, okay, and you see yourself on, okay, the 911 is online. So of course I think it's polite, okay, to start talking to the attendants, yeah, and say sorry, I accidentally I have dialed 911, and but I'm okay, okay, please don't make it, don't don't take don't mind, okay, this calling.
Yes,
So
ask
yeah, I'm not,
excuses.
yeah, sorry for that. It's not me again. But if you like dial and you don't have the knowledge, you dial like I don't know, in your pockets, okay? I don't know. your cell phone is in your pocket, and then start dialing 911. The guy, I think the attendants will know because of the noises, and that is like okay, they are like, I don't know, the guy is not, the guy is okay, and it is an accident. So I will hang down the telephone and go on.
Nice, nice. Yes, man, you are right, guys, because sometimes the United States is more strictly this process, because if you just call 911 and don't say anything and even just hang down your phone, they will recall you. They will call again for your cell phone just to see if you are okay, if you okay, or things like that. They will call just to checking up. But
Okay.
here in Brazil, I never saw some things before. Maybe if you ask, as Bruno said, like Bruno said here, maybe if they already, maybe just already attended you, they are line already, and you just turn it off, the telephone, you just calm down your phone. On that situation, here in Brazil, the police officer, the dispatcher, which they usually are called, in the United States, they are called the dispatcher. The dispatchers will call again you. But after, besides this situation, maybe we just have on our mind, it's necessary, it's very important to have in your mind that we don't know if you don't need it 911, if you don't need it in any emergency, if you are not an emergency, don't call an emergency number. That is the rule, okay? And teach your children to do it as you do it. And
Okay.
that's now it's the common questions at the United States. Please, can you help me to take can you have to take my cat on the streets? Have you ever heard this situation? This happened a lot in the United States. Even that seems to be a joke, but is not. It is not. So people call the 911, call the firefighters to catch up their cats or the animals that on the roof of the house or maybe on the streets, on the trees or things like that. Can you provide example of non-emergent situations where calling 911 would be inappropriate? So, Fernando, tell me about that. Can you provide some type of non-emergency?
Yeah, like your cats above your ceiling, or when you get locked inside an elevator or inside the room and there's no key to open the door. Uh, I wouldn't say inappropriate because you are needing some help, but it's not an emergency, right? And so are situations like that.
Yes, and how about you, Bruno? What do you think about this topic? Can you provide some non-emergency situation? And when we call, maybe people call 911 even though, but that it should be called inappropriate because they don't need it, a real ambulance or a real police officer. Can you give us some examples about that?
Can be, I don't know, when you have a neighbor and then you shout up with a shout up with have a fight, I don't know, with your neighbor, but not anything like an emergency, like something. Okay, so you don't need to call the 911 for that. Or when you, I don't know, have a problem with your car. Okay, okay, my
Yeah.
engine has failed. Then it's not okay to call the 911 for that. You need to call a mechanic. Okay, or when you, I don't know, you are without food in your home. Okay, that's not an emergency. Not for the police. Okay, it's for your belly, an emergency, but not for the police. So you need to do something like that for this. And or I don't know, like these funny situations, okay, when the guy is this desperate, but to solve the problem, but the police or the fire worker or even a doctor will not solve the problem. Okay, so I think these situations are examples.
Yes, great. Those are great examples. I heard so many guys. For those who are watching us, maybe seems to be that we are joking, we are kidding here, but that's true. There are a lot of emergencies, should I say non-emergencies that 911, that 1900, 190 receives a lot of the whole day. So they needed to be very, should I say, strict with their process because they must to know. That's why you needed to provide as much as you can information for them because they will find that your situation maybe should not be called an emergency because you don't need it any support of their equipment. So that's happening a lot, guys. It's just for fun, but that's happening a lot. So here I already asked you this situation on the beginning. So that's it, guys. That's all for today. We did it. We talked about so many topics related to 911, but I'd like to just read this. Before dialing 911, assess the severity of the situation. Is it truly an emergency that requires immediate assistance from police, firefighter, or fire, or medical services? So those are some questions that you must ask yourself before you call 911 if you really needed to call it. So guys, those stories or those questions that I made it, that I brought for you here, that my colleagues Fernando and Bruno answered, it was just for practice our English speaking skills. That was not any official answers about our country, about Brazil, about our government, because here we are just English studies and we were just discussing topics to maybe going deeply on our English vocabulary. And as probably you notice, I never have any conversation here with my friends before about emergency situations. So those topics was new for every one of us, at least in my side. Wasn't it, Fernando? Have you ever talked about the emergency in English?
No, for me, it was the first time also. It was such a great experience to hear and to share the knowledge, my knowledgements about this area. It was very fun.
Great. And how about you, Bruno? Have you ever talked in your class? You told me at the beginning that you already provide some English class for intermediate, for beginners, or even at your job. Maybe you told me that you work on a big company here in Brazil that provides so many tournaments. So remember some time that you have this dialogue related to 911, related to where and when should you call?
No, about this specific, no, but about an answers for an emergencies concerning, okay, to the situations of Petrobras, yes, okay. So it was common for us to talk about this subject, okay, because it was at our work, so we need to, when it's an emergency, be prepared for this.
Great,
Okay.
great. So, and that is very important, guys. Everyone should know talking about that. And that's why I decided to bring this topic here. So, Fernando and Bruno, it was a pleasure to have you here with me. For those who are watching us from the YouTube channel, thank you so much for being here up to the end of this video. Hope you are here with us. I know that it's more than 1 hour already, this recorded session, but guys, for us who are here in the middle of this meeting, seems to be that is 30 minutes the maximum, but I already watched here I already watched the time that we're recording, and it's more than 1 hour and 12 minutes already. So thank you so much for this time. Thank you so much, Fernando, Bruno. It was a pleasure. And Fernando, after we finish here, I'm gonna send a link, and I would like to, Fernando, if you are able to provide Bruno's phone number, and I will add him at our English group. Maybe he could join us at the next meetings, okay?
Okay, thank you. I appreciate, Alex. Thank you all.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice night and good sleeping.